Okay. So let's kind of get the beginning days. So let's get right into it. So 90s.
1990.
Transition.
Yeah.
Into the Meeka everyone knows. Misha.
Misha, yes.
And this is a two-part question, okay? What made you decide to be trans? And to clear up the rumors and things for years, were you forced to transition?
Yes.
Okay.
See, and I say this to people, and this is why I don't really like to talk to people about that, because they never, like, you try to explain certain things to them, but I don't know, and I'm not trying to say anything bad about other people, but I think certain people can't really, they hear you, but they can't really understand you, if they haven't walked in your shoes or really try to understand what you're trying to say. So when I became trans, it was one of those things that I say forced, and I mean like the universe forced it on me. It was something that I was always supposed to be, For years, I kind of struggled spiritually with being out as a gay male then, but I was never a gay male. I only identified as a gay male.
Because that's what you know.
Because that's what I thought that I had to be, because
there was no way.
There was no other way to explain what it was that I was, right? So, Oh, you told me to talk louder?
Yeah.
I'm talking too low?
Yeah.
No, like there wasn't a word to describe it, but everyone kept telling me, like, even when I went back, like when I was like, oh, I'm not gonna be gay anymore, I'm gonna go to church, go back to church, it was like they saw something was wrong. Then when I was presenting as a gay male, they were like, something's wrong with you, like you're too feminine, like there's something off, like it's not gay, it's something else, So a lot of people from both sides kept pointing out something to me that I really didn't know what to call it then, or what to identify it as, or to label it as. And then it took me a while when I, like I said, it was a spiritual thing that happened to me. It was.
For people that don't know, you come from a spiritual family.
I grew up in the church. I was a church girl my whole life. I traveled with many choirs, and I was in performing arts. I mean, a really very strict, homophobic, religious.
Household?
Not the household, just the religious teachings. And the funny thing is that no one forced me to go to church. This was something that I did on my own. Like my mom was very, she believes in God, she loves the Lord, my whole family does, but my mom was more liberal, you know what I mean?
Right. I know your mother, so I know.
Yeah, my mom is like my best friend, she's amazing. But no, so yeah, it was one of those things. I mean, I can't really talk about it. I mean, in an interview with people, but I mean, it's very in depth. It's something that I really had to think about. It's something that I struggled with, because I thought that being trans, I would have to like give up a lot of things that meant a lot to me, which is my faith, being able to walk into a church again. So those are things that when I say that I was forced, it's like I was forced to really make a decision about who I was,
Yeah.
And
where do you think the lines got blurred that I forced you in this one and that one and so many?
I don't know. I think honestly, I think people have their own ideas about who people are.
Okay.
And I think they listen for certain things and they dissect things that you say. And I think, especially for me, because I'm such a private person, like, and because you're such an open person, that it's easier for them to kind of say, well, from looking at you, and like, well, let me ask her, or let me ask one of his kids, or to find out how he really is. And then if you're not giving them too much, they read into it, especially if you're just like, he's cool. Cool could mean so many other things, you know what I mean? And by the time it gets back to whoever, the story done changed so many times. But I really don't like talking about that, because like I said, I think people can only explain so much based on where they are. You know, if you're not,
And even with your explanation of how you feel and the sincerity, and people still want to take what they want from it and make their own assumptions.
but that's how people. That's people in general, not just gay people.
Oh no, both definitely people in general.
But yeah, like
Everybody has their own perception of things.
yeah, like I said, I mean, regardless of who you are, where you are, people can only understand as much as they're willing. They're going to allow themselves to really understand you. And a lot of times, because a lot of people aren't really that genuine when they do, and I'm not trying to sit here like, oh, I'm genuine, but I try to be. And I think a lot of times if you're not used to somebody being genuine, you don't know how to take it. You know, you're automatically going to think, no, this can't be what it is. So, you know, but what are you going to do?
So what was the actual defining moment? And I'm gonna bring up a story from the back in the day. What people do not know was I did not want you to be a film queen at first. A lot of people don't know that. They just assume because I love the girls but I didn't want that for you. Because the girls that I thought it was gonna be a hard life for you. And to be honest with you,
And it is.
it is a very hard life. But to be honest with you, these girls now have a way easier than back then.
I don't want to say that.
When I say easier, I mean there's more opportunities and there's more outlets available now for trans than there was back then.
I'm not going to say that either.
That's my opinion. That's how I look at it. And my point is that back then when you had conversations, you know, when you wanted to do it, it was kind of like I knew, you know, you was very introverted, like you said, and very shy, but around us, you was very different. You was always, people that don't know, you're very funny. You're very funny. You have a great humor. You're very, you know, you're wacky but funny. But what people don't know is that I was more afraid of being in a situation because I knew how religion, you know, it was. I'm not gonna say your religion was in and out.
You didn't want to lose me.
Huh?
You didn't want to lose me. You didn't want to lose that connection that we had. I think we had a different kind of connection. It was. I can't explain it, but I know that.
What was the defining moment? What made you say, you know what, I'm going to do this?
Honestly, it was. I had to pray about it because I really wasn't sure. Like the whole time, I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about it at all until maybe like a week before my surgery, and I had to go when I was in North Carolina, and I was just hanging out in like the woods or something like that. And I remember I had nothing. I think I had my hair in a ponytail and I was barefoot. I had on a pair of jeans and I just felt so comfortable. I had on a t-shirt and I just felt so like comfortable, so in my own skin, you know? And I'm not, you know me, I'm not a 5 bundles of hair and blonde, and I'm dark. A lot of people don't know that. I'm a little dark, I'm a little twisty, but you know, I'm a little butchy, but I'm not a girly girl.
But you are though.
People see me as that, but I'm not a girly girl.
I mean emotionally, I'm saying. I know.
Well, emotionally, see, I don't want to say that either, but I think I can be both. I know when to be both. I know how to play both. I accept both parts of myself, you know? I like the masculine sides of myself, and I love the feminine side of myself. But for me, femininity is not pink and girly. Femininity to me is just an air about yourself. You know what I mean? Femininity is something. It has nothing to do with gender. It's just ease. It's comfortability.
Okay. So, if any, do you have regrets in your transition? No, I don't have any regrets at all, honestly. Have you ever had regrets or thought you did?
No.
As far as surge, as far as anything?
No, because again, you know me. You know, and maybe this is probably where the misconception is, but you guys would probably be more like, you know, get this or get that. But you know me, I'm one of those people like, nope, I'm all right. I'm good where I'm at. You have to pretty much like, girl, what are you gonna do? But I'm like, I'm fine. You know, I'm fine how I am. I don't need it. There's certain things that I don't need. So I try to be. I've always been that person. I don't like to feel fake. I want to be able to walk outside. I want to be able to, my mom to recognize me. I want to be able to recognize myself. I want to,
I think you spent the whole.
I mean, it's bad enough to be, for people to look at you and always laughing, or and 99.9% of the, well, 100% of the time, there's nothing funny. What's so funny about being a trans person? But I think people like to pick out certain things to kind of assign to trans individuals, to say, oh, that's how I know, or that's how I know, or that's how I know, and become this joke. And she could be the most beautiful thing that they've ever seen, but it's just something about her that makes them want to laugh, and psychologically what that can do to someone. You know what I mean? It's like, this life, it's really hard. It's a trip.